Tine also a number of other types of spreadsheets at now, but today they are now computer-based programs. They are now computer-based programs akati one day. So number one, tichatanga nekutanga. It's unfortunate class yangu haizi physically available. So ndichakupa injini today. So the first one is Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel. And take note, this is the program we are going to yatichange tichi manya nayo henceforth kuba izvo zvichange tichishandisa the spreadsheet in Microsoft Excel. Number two, tina anonzi Google Sheets. Google Sheets. These ones are a web-based modern version of Excel, Google Sheets. Number three, tina anonzi LibreOffice. LibreOffice. Tineo mama anonzi Smart Sheets. Smart Sheets mukasta sama handouts and you start pick many the extension of how these work and academic and all that stuff. So to emphasize that the Microsoft Office. Number four, Tineinonzi Lotus. You remember Lotus 123 for some of us pakauya computers late 90s, early 2000. Taishandisa office package here in the Lotus. So Lotus 123 was the but in discontinue. So I'm not really sure the Lotus package Kushanda today, but there was also Lotus is a good example of a spreadsheet program. Then today the WPS Office. WPS Office. Ndo iri pamafoni yenyu yakagadzirwa kuChina ya munoona ya yakagadzirwa kuChina. Ye Kingsoft. So for yakanyanya kunaka kuti inoshanda both, unlike zvakaita sana Office inoshanda pa on Android operating system, inoshanda pa Windows, Mac, Linux ichienda yakadaro. Saka pamafoni kana muda kuinstalla in Office program pa phone, WPS is a very good application. Then maybe lastly for my Mac computers or my Apple products, unlike Windows, because trikuti ma software edu esatinoisa pa computer. Wana QuickBooks, wana Pastel, my Office, my designing programs, my all those programs. My programs iwayo anogara ma applications. These applications ndo ma softwares atinoshandisa to produce and to actually manipulate tichibuditsa information yatinoda. But anogara pama system software. There is what we call a system software. It's a software inotakura ma application software. So kuti phone yenyu ishande mchini murikuita WhatsApp. The WhatsApp is an application software. Tinogona kuimanipulate and play around tichitedzera how it has been designed tichibuditsa results atinoda. Then nemagadziro yakaita. But Android becomes the best way the WhatsApp peino right kuti ikwanise kushanda. So all these kana muri kumeka decision yekutsvaka a good Office program or a spreadsheet program, you need also to appreciate the system software in yamunayo ndeipi kana kuti inoshandirana with that particular one. So for Apple Suite or Apple Office Suite program inoshanda muma Apple computers anenga ine ma Mac. So aizoshandewo muma Windows. And you see also the Microsoft Office yedu inoshanda, it's a Windows-based program because what it's Windows, the system software here Windows. So as a result, you realize write down on Windows instead. Right. Before any questions, because I think this is very simple, I will go straight. Allow me to end further. Then we are going to introduce Microsoft Office. So introduction to Microsoft Office. Introduction to Microsoft Office. So tataura about 5 or 6 or 7 examples of my spreadsheet programs, but we want now to go straight to the program yedu yatula kushandisa for spreadsheets and financial modeling, which is the Microsoft Office program. So introduction to Microsoft Office program. Microsoft Office is a powerful and most popular. This is a powerful and most popular spreadsheet program used today. Powerful and most popular spreadsheet used today. It is a part of the Microsoft Office suite. It is a part of the Microsoft Office suite. So it doesn't come, kana muchida kuinstolerwa mcomputer, muti ndoda kuinstolerwawo Excel. Akuna, that program doesn't come as an independent program by itself. It comes as a component or a part of the Microsoft Office suite, which comes together with programs like the Word, Microsoft Office, MS Word, Microsoft Office Word, MS Microsoft Office, MS Word, PowerPoint, Visual Basic, and a number of other programs. I always encourage my students kuti munofana musangoenda pa Word ne pa Excel chete motambira ipapo. Kana muda kubudisa mango ma results ari better nekuwa muchida kubudisa zvinhu zviri dynamic zvakasiyana zvino present what differently, then kunzwisisawo ma presentation programs akafanana nana office program, kunzwisisawo mamwe ma programs e office kwakakosha zvakanyanya. So I encourage you kuti you try to play around in some of those Microsoft Office programs, but it's also a little concentrate on MS Excel for this course. Right. Before maybe tatanga kushandisa Excel yedu, tinotanga tanzwisa some of the terms dzinoshandiswa mu Excel. Number one, so mchandinyorero common Excel terms, the most common Excel terms. Ma terms eda tinoshandisa mu Excel kuti kana takuzoshanda tikaudza munhu kuti range tikati formula yedu inoti equals if kana equals NPV opening bracket pick the number then tibati range. We need to appreciate kuti tiri kureve hatisi kuda munhu anozosara behind. We want you to appreciate kuti each term inoreve. So I'm going to give you a few terms dziri pano, but mukaenda mu start pack menu muchaona akawanda atakalista imomo, but otherwise we're going to discuss a few here today. So number one, workbook. Workbook, the first term that tinoshandisa in Excel, it's a workbook. Workbook. What is a workbook? That's the Excel file. Workbook, no one going to stroke the Excel file. That's the file in Excel. Kana mshasa mama programs agafana nana, maybe let's take my computerized programs that tinoshandisa vana QuickBooks. Kana muchigadzira, I want to believe Mr. Mawawa pa ku teach last week I followed through lecture renyu. Vai ku teach how do you create a database in QuickBooks? How do you create a Kanban file in QuickBooks? Or in Pastel na Mr. Varkuita, maybe Pastel, you realize muno create a Kanban file or a Kanban database. So kutotanga kugadzira chinu chinonzi ABC Limited. Mama kuda kushandira kuchindo gadzira ma chart of accounts muchieda information and transactions in the file imomo. This is what we call the database. This is what we call the Kanban file. But in Excel now at Charity database, we simply call it a workbook. And a workbook, it comes really at not my worksheets. My worksheets are going up to 255. I'm not sure now. Kuti achingori my latest edana 2016 coming kushika izoji achingori 255, but kumasure we used to have up to 255 worksheets in one workbook. So to gonna open one worksheet, to open another second worksheet, to open a third worksheet, to open a fourth worksheet, seventh worksheet, ninth worksheet, chenda takadaro. And my worksheets edivayo ndo anofoma to workbook. So number two, straight we go to worksheets. What is a worksheet? So now a worksheet is a collection of cells. Maseo edu tichaenda fundo define a cell. Interestingly, it's building up. Cell ndo panosangana column ratati toda columns and rows. That's what makes a program a spreadsheet program. So panosangana column ne row patino enter information or data redu in a spreadsheet. We call it a cell. A collection of those cells is what we refer to as worksheets or a worksheet. No worksheet really saka a worksheet really come with a number of my cells. So that's another term that no Microsoft Excel is cell. A cell. So that define a cell. This is where a column and a row meets, and this is where we enter in a cell. This is where we enter the data that we enter and store data. We then manipulate and analyze and do computations. Oh, this is done in the cells. Then besides the cells, we have the range. The range. What is a range? This is a collection of 2 or more cells. It's a collection of 2 or more cells. So tikaita maseo edu 2 kana riri 1 rinonzi cell. Maseo kana 2 harichanzi cell akunzi range. So tokona kuenda tondo major maseo 5. Patino major macells 5 edu. Tikuti maseo yari 5, we call them a range. Whether they are going down in a row, in a column rather, or they are going vertically in a column, then in a row, we call them the range. No, it's not a range. So this word shandisa chose iya mayedu pachange tichishanda zvakawanda rekuti range, because information yedu inogara mu range, because inogara mu range tichanga patinoisa ma formulas, the word range always appears. Then formula. What is a formula? Right? Ipapa kana takwena ndokubira kuti mamanyatsobata, because pane tuma difference tichatanga kuuya ipapa twamunofana kunyatso appreciate chose. A formula is an expression which calculates the value in a cell. It is an expression that calculates a value in a cell. Zvandiri kureva pana pane zvekuti chinonzi formula mukazonzwa takuchitaura, tiri kureva kuti mukati 1 plus 1, we are expressing it as an expression that brings computation in a cell. So 1 plus 1, or a value in the cell A1 plus a value in the cell A2. Tikangodaro, it means it's a formula. Taisa formula. So my formulas are going to kubuda mostly my mathematical formulas. Agafana ne summation formula ndataura. Agafana maybe toko na kuisa a product formula yekutaga maybe to multiply 2 my figures are remove 2 my cell. Takadaro. Iva ndo ati kuti my formulas. Iva yomuchaona kuti patachange takuenda ma formulas atinyanywa shandise in Excel, takuita financial modeling, takushandisa advanced functions. Tinonyanya kushandisa tinoti ma functions. Mama mandinyorora the next one moti functions. Functions. What is a function? These are predefined formulas. These are predefined formulas available in Excel. Predefined formulas available in Excel. So tatisu tikati 1 plus 1. Kokana makuda kutsaga maybe a binomial a distribution of data, a series of data in a range. Kuti mutange kutsaga formula inokwanisa kukupai figure iroro muchataka kudzokera kuchoro mutsvaga calculator yedu yaya maiti kana mauda kucalculate internal rate of return maizoti 1 divided by this equals this and this. Kana kuti muda kutsvaga maybe a mathematical formula yedu yeku O level chaiyo yakafana ne quadratic equation, hanzi 4a divided by 2a plus whatever. That's complicated. Pamunoya kubasa vasvika undokupai calculator. I'm still looking at a company. They don't give you a calculator anymore. All they give you is your computer and the internet. This is what they give you. These are the tools that they have. In Excel and another program related to Basaramunaro as an administrator or as a manager or as an accountant. So you need now to appreciate computer formula that particular value. It doesn't work here now. You now need to appreciate kuti Excel inenge yakatogadzira ma predefined formulas already. We're giving example without computer, maybe it's an asset register, you want to compute depreciation based on maybe double decline depreciation, double DB, and it amuchaende kundotsvaga kuti toda kutanga taona cost price less the salvage value, or the salvage value minus number of years and all that. You don't need all that. All you need is just a formula information in your repo, equals GDB, then opening bracket, you enter all these values that then it retains a value of your depreciation based on that particular depreciation method. We are done. So these are what we call functions. So muchaona kakawanda interchangeably litogona kuti formula, but pese patiri kuti formula tishansa formula itori mu Excel, we mean function. And itika wonderful. So another one is so basically these are the few themes we wanted to discuss. So before ndaenda takuda kundovhura muchanitendera, I'm going to share my Excel with you. Going forward now takuda kuenda kundoita the actual and actually examine the Excel redu spreadsheet redu pa Excel and find out rakagadzirwa sei. So before I do that, ndokumbira, is there any questions pane zvishoma shoma zvatadiscussa so far? Pangaita any question here inogona kunga iripo. Any questions? Brother Timothy, any questions?
No, see, it's okay. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Thank you very much. So I'll proceed. But because in the I'm going to share, can I move my laptop? Because I'm going to share the my spreadsheet with you. You might not be able to open a annual unless can I move to follow through per phone. Then maybe you can actually go with me per spreadsheet penyu so that we examine that particular thing together. Right, excellent. So mchandinyoroma notes aya, but now this time tikanyora tuma notes tushoma shoma tobata demonstrators watoda kuita panapa tichi examine tichita tour. We want to take a tour ye Excel kuti Excel yakagadzirwa sei, chakati chinowanikwa papi and all that stuff. So I'll proceed like that. So give me a minute. Let me share my Asimuka kwanza, if you can, if you think you can, munogona kungovhura your spreadsheet change so that maybe you also follow through, but nombo break up briefly, munenchikuita follow through with me ipapo. So you can open background your spreadsheet. I think zvinogona kutitira zvakanaka. So this is my spreadsheet ready. So I want to examine this thing and find out kuti zvinhu zvamuri kushandisa every day ndizvo here zvese zviri available. Especially we trying to introduce a financial analysis for financial analysts to you. We're trying to introduce financial modeling so that the world of financial modeling hainayo vanhu vakawanda, but yakakosha kana mukazopinda banking sector nemamwe business akakura muchida ku venture into and make certain decision to say Econet yopinda here muGhana kuti itange business. Programs dzinoshandiswa to analyze feasibility, to analyze kuti zvaka reject or accept rules and the like. Excel is one of those programs that dzinoshandisa. Teta kushandisa information or data rakati kure zvakanyanya ratiri kunyatasa zvinhu zvakati one day chose. So as a result, you then realize kuti zvinhu zvatiri kuona is all this that you are seeing here. It's not all that there is. Kune zvakawanda zvisina kutoenablewa panapa zvamunenge makutwa forced kuti muenable. Chimbonditarisirawo before taenda further ndisati ndatanga kudefine this thing. Muri kuona kuti yangu ina kubva kuna file, home, insert, data, review, view. Pangu pakanzi Darlington. Muri kuona rimwe ndinewo tab rangu rakanzi Darlington panapa. Ndikatozoenda pana developer pane rimwe rakanzi Zika. Tikaenda further pane rakanzi daycare. So it means this thing, kana kuchinzwisisa kuti what is MS Excel, you can come to a point of customizing the MS Excel mamirire yakaita kuti ikwanise kumita the requirements ebasa renyu ramunoita pabasa penyu. Andindizvoka. Right, so you're going to take these few notes. Excel is structured as follows. It is structured as follows. Number one, there is what we call Excel ribbon. The Excel ribbon. The Excel ribbon. So Excel is structured or yakamira yakadai. There is what we call Excel ribbon. So this is the Excel ribbon. Kuba panapa, if you can follow my mouse yangu, going down kushika panapa, pandri panapa. Panapa just above the formula bar panapa. This is what we call the formula bar. But kuba panapa kukwira kundoshika kweso. All this is what we call the Excel ribbon. This is the ribbon. Right? So the ribbon, the ribbon houses the tabs. It houses the tabs. The ribbon houses the tabs. Point number two. The ribbon houses the tabs. I'm telling you, put my tabs in the API. This is where we find all. All ese chese chamuri kutsvaga chinowanikwa paribbon ipapa ndo pane chinonzi Excel. Kunoku ndoko kwatiri kungoisa information iri kungorecorda information kuno kumasel. Handiko kuExcel kune nyaya yedu hombe. Kuti tikwanise kucommanda computations and a lot of other things down here in my format and stuff. That happens because of the functions we get in the ribbon. So this is where we get all the functions in Excel. This is where we get all the functions in Excel, in the ribbon. This thing. So it houses the tabs. So point number two straight becomes what? The ribbon tabs or the tabs. T-A-B-S, tabs. So what are tabs? Tabs houses the commands. Tabs houses the commands. Tabs houses the commands. Manditi stroke kumberi. File, home, insert, formulas, etc. These are what we refer to as tabs. File, home, insert, page layout, formulas, etc. All this that you see on top I think now, Mr. Mahawak, I'm start picking your QuickBooks. You were told cannot maybe point of sale. You were told these are called top drop-down menu bars, or they are called menus. Here we don't call them menus, but not in my menus prior or my drop-down. But no clicker in QuickBooks. I know but a drop-down in my functions inside the menu. But here, that's not the story. Tabs are only categories. They are only function categories in Excel. Another point you can say, these are function categories in Excel. In other words, my functions, commands, the function bolder, you want to bold, you want to increase the font size, you want to measure, you want to change the number format into a percentage or into accounting or whatever. These are the functions. So we categorize the functions by tab. So tinaisa tab re home, then we have got certain functions. Then to end up with inserts, then inserting related functions, anoenda mu tab re insertion. Then to end up with formulas. These formulas do atati my functions. Tinema logical formulas, tinema date formulas, tinema mathematical formulas, my lookup and reference formulas, tinema statistical formulas, tinema engineering formulas. All these formulas, all my formulas, do atati my functions, they are grouped in a tab renowned formulas. Are we together? So number three, so Ribbon tabs, they houses the Excel commands. So andiri kuti ma functions interchangeably, andiri kuti ma functions idakafana nekuita bold, nekuita italics. These are the functions. We don't call them functions. Don't understand the word functions most common in Zwisika. We call them commands. If I come here, ndikanyora 100 wangu panapa in a cell. Kuti ndikwidze this font from 11 to 28 like this, then I change the font color to this, and I change the font type to Century Gothic, and I change to bold the text. We call these commands. I've been commanding. Commander Excel. Commander. I've been setting commands. I've been making instructions, which are commands. So all this that you see, Muhom, pay all this measure. If I come and say, I want like this, then measure, measure. I've commanded measuring. We call them commands. Are we together? Ndokumbira mungobato izvi muchingonyora tuma notes. Hatisi kuda kuti 20 marks dze multiple choice kana dze structured theory question iya muzoshayo 20 marks idzodzo. Kana mada kuluza ma marks at least mukaaluzira kuma computations ari advanced ayo. But izvi zviri theoretic womongoziwa kuti appreciation Excel munayo chose. All right, so this is how the Excel is built up. Then ngatiendei kuma tabs edu aya. Let's go to my tabs edu aya atataura aya. Kuti ano each tab rino hausa which commands. We want to find out. Kuti kana mada kukomanda kana ku-instruct certain functions in Excel, munowana those functions from which tab? From which tab? And number one, tine file. File yedu unza which commands or which functions. So you can say, also known as the backstage view. This one brings what we call the backstage view. This kunoku backstage kwataienda tichindoita ma functions akafanana nana protect musuya pataita ma advanced function tichi protect a workbook redu, tichi protect a worksheet redu. So it brings the backstage of this of the Excel. Another point, help us manage the Excel file or workbook. Help us manage the Excel file, e.g., creating the new file. We can open an existing file from there. We can save the file. We can